Today on Sunyshore Station, CGDannyB joins us for a discussion on anime voice actors. Let's get into it. It's always sunny at Sunyshore Station. How's it going, everyone? Fusrodab back again with another episode of Sunyshore Station, and I am joined by our co-host, the main character of anime himself, the man with the most plot armor I know, Tylerthegrey. Say hello to the people.
Mosh.
Daijoubu. Hey, I got to deal with you, Tyler. If I can beat you right now in a duel, we have to have a really awesome guest on the podcast again. You ready?
Okay, all right, let's go.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Exodia, I win. And now that I won the duel and you're sent to the Shadow Realm, we have to invite a literal god of indie gaming back to the podcast. Everyone, drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. CGDannyB!
Hi! I didn't bring any Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I have a bunch of leftover business cards from PAX, so if that beats Exodia.
Does it? You decide, chat. You decide.
Chat, decide. Pick me!
CGDannyB, obliterate!
There you go.
I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that's what Exodia says.
How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. It's been a minute. We did the last podcast. You're like, dude, we doing another one? I'm like, let me get back from PAX. Let me re-vegify and we're good. And we'll do it. And you're just like, let's talk anime. I'm like, you know what? I could do that. I could talk some animus.
That's right. That's
Dude.
right. And yeah, I'm glad to have you back on, man. And it's going to be a great discussion today. We're going to be talking, guys, about voice actors in anime. And we're going to be talking about our favorite moments, some of our favorite voice actors and why we love them and the characters they have played, things like that. Just the discussion, a general love of the hard work that goes into this. I can't imagine the amount of retakes that this would probably take to make this perfect. So we're just basically sending a love letter to all of our favorite voice actors. And then if any voice actors actually hear this, be on the podcast. I would love to actually meet some of these people. That'd be great. Maybe one day. Who knows?
Dream come true.
Right? Good Lord. But anyway, guys, you want to jump right into it?
I'd like to
Yes,
wait.
indeed.
You want to wait? Okay, ready, everyone? Moment of silence. Insert cricket noise here, future Fus. Okay. If I did that and I'm not lazy, we're waiting. Beautiful. Okay, long enough. Danny, what you got?
I'm not done waiting. Okay, so we kind of like not threw it together last night. We're like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna pick this many, maybe 2 or 3. I was like, okay. Well, as of late, I've been obsessed with Aaron Dismuke, and I always have to pause. I'm like, I think I'm saying his last name right. I even pulled up like a video where they were making ramen for like Crunchyroll. It was like, hey, I'm Aaron Dismuke. I'm like, got it. Okay, that's the name.
All right, good. He said it.
No, as of late, he's been like in like different anime that I'm watching. I'm like, I love this guy. And like I hear the voice. I'm like, that's Senku. That's my boy Senku. Like, I love his version of Senku so much. I watched the first season dubbed, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep up subbed. And the moment I started episode 1 of season 2 and it wasn't Aaron on day 1, I'm like, I can wait. I'll give it the 2-week buffer so I can listen, because that's my Senku and that's what I want. And then
I agree with you.
He's so good in that role, any role that I can think to hear him in. And we're currently doing our rewatch of My Hero, which we're on season 3, and season 7 starts in like 2-3 weeks. So we got to get up. But we like just met Amajiki in the current season. I'm like, oh my god, it's Aaron Dismuke. I love it. I love this boy.
They had the Chrome's voice actor do Senku for those 2 episodes, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's
Did
what
they?
it sounded
I don't
like.
know.
I mean, it sounded like Chrome. I was like, this is weird. I was like, I hope it's not permanent recast, because it was like
Chrome's
it was
another
really
boy.
It was jarring. It was very jarring.
It was like at some point in season 2 or season 3.
It's season 3, because there was a part where he wasn't able to make the lines. I think he was busy with like a prior commitment or something. It was like all over the internet.
Interesting. Yeah, I totally just missed all that. I don't typically follow the anime news. I'm just like, I'm just gonna watch the show when it comes out.
Right.
Or when I open Crunchyroll, my new episode's not out. I'm like, almost cursed it did. Oh goodness, I'm sorry, children. I didn't mean it.
Oh no, Exodia's not happy.
Can't be speaking French.
Yeah, my new episode doesn't drop. I'm like, where is it? And they're like, sorry, it's National Ramen Noodle Appreciation Day in Japan today, so no new episodes of One Piece or something. I'm like, that's just but in America, make it up to me. But yeah, no, Aaron Desmuke, Senku Amajiki. I also have him as Shirogane from Kaguya-sama. And get used to those anime because I think I repeat each one of them like 2 or 3 times. So
I definitely love him as Senku for sure.
Yeah.
Like, what an iconic voice.
Get excited.
10 billion% chance. You know, I'm like, yeah, I love it. And
I
side
couldn't
note,
give 1 millimeter.
I absolutely love his delivery of lines. You know,
Yeah.
be like, this is an absolute surefire way to destroy any opponent with this acid. You know, like, you know, it's so matter of fact. I absolutely love it.
There's a weird goblin energy to it where I can just see him being like I put note of like, the internet loves him for like his Arrow Ace energy where he's just like, sex, not for me. Science is where it's at. And like, I thought back to a clip where he's sitting there and like this girl's just like, so what do you like in a girl, Senku? And he's just like, I like a girl that can blow a lot of hot air into this furnace. Let's go. And it's like, oh, sorry.
Yes.
That's not an innuendo. Just get to work. And I'm like, yeah, it was pretty great.
I love it whenever it's like, hey, guys, Mecha Senku here. Don't forget, this is actually TNT. Do not make this at home.
Don't do it. Parents, watch your kids.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I'm side note, I'm really excited for the new season of Dr. Stone. Because are you caught up?
I am caught up, yes.
Okay, spoiler warning, spoiler tags.
Anime only. Just
okay, yeah, anime only. They're going to the moon for this next season, and I'm so excited. I'm like, how are they going to do that? How? Like,
That's
how?
ridiculous.
You're
Ridiculous.
you're in the stone world. Oh my god, yeah. That he's definitely up there because like I don't think any other voice actor could have like properly been Senku. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
10 billion%.
10 billion%. Exactly. We're done, dude. Roll credits. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's all we had.
I think that's a perfect segue into my first voice actor. So obviously, solo leveling has taken the world by storm. Here in especially like the last couple weeks, the sub is incredible, but I have to give credit to the dub for being absolutely insane. Yeah. I mean, like, it is over the top, and Alex Lee, who voices Jinwoo, is insane with his delivery. It's so timid and meek until he actually starts like leveling up and stuff, and then once he hits the part where they're doing another spoiler tax for anyone who hasn't seen Solo Leveling. Watch Solo Leveling. What are you doing with your life? With the part where he gets you need to kill these people, like it's an emergency side quest or whatever. Like, and he's like, yeah, I guess I have to, and he slices this dude's neck. I'm like, oh. Like the darkness in this dude's voice. Whew. Oh, Alex Lee has earned my respect. So he's in other things too. He's in Demon Slayer. I did not know that. Who does he play?
Who is he in Demon Slayer?
That's a good question. Let's see. I'm gonna click on his voice actor thing real quick, and let's look real quick.
I'm scrolling through quick. I'm seeing Luke in Street Fighter 6. I'm seeing my boy Mash in Mashal.
Ha! I love that Mashal.
Yeah.
It's so good. Bring bum bum bring bum bum bring bum bum bum.
Makoto in Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah, it just listed it on his IMDb. So
you're lying. You're a fibber.
Am I lying? I might be lying. Let's.
He plays Zenitsu.
Oh, okay. I can hear
God,
it.
What a freaking difference in
right.
Like this.
He's going from
funny, dude.
Darkness and destruction to Nezuka.
So like now that I know it's Zenitsu, I can like hear the voice, but like I've yet to watch dub Solo Leveling. We've just been keeping up sub, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna re-binge. And I've seen the TikTok clips, but never like the episodes. So like I'm gonna rewatch it.
Insane. It is insane. It like dub usually gets a bad rep, but Solo Leveling's dub is insane. Like, it is worth watching. You like obviously watch the sub; it's amazing. But dub actually goes hard. It like goes harder than it should. Like I'm like, this is English dub. It's not supposed to be that great. Calm down.
Set the standard. Set the standard.
But no, sorry for blanking. I saw it on his thing and I wanted to see who he was. But no, Alex Lee has definitely earned. For me, his voice as Jinwoo has been absolutely redonkulous for me. The fact that he's Zenitsu is hilarious to me now.
Yeah.
his delivery with his lines is crazy. Like, and that's pretty much the bulk of why I have him in mad respect. I'm talking about him first. These are in no particular order, guys, but I'm talking about him first specifically for his part in solo leveling. But
Absolutely.
What do you guys think? Tyler, you got anything to add to that, or Danny?
No, I think it's pretty cool though. Having that kind of difference in the character styles. A lot of voice actors get cast into certain roles because they're gruff or the way they deliver their lines, and it's cool to see some differences in a way. But I could see the timid side from that at first for him as well.
Now that I think about it, the timid side that Jinwoo has in the beginning kind of does sound like Zenny too.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can kind of get that, like his bass voice, not when he's being stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think about it similar to how, like I just mentioned, like Aaron is my Senku. I have to hear that. Seeing on the list that he's Mash from Mashal, like we binge watched that once the dub was complete, and he's just like oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break your door off the wall. Like it's very like monotone, whatever. And we've been holding off on season 2 until like the dub is like maybe 3 or 4 episodes in, so we can like just kind of binge a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
But no, same thing where I'm just like, that's my Mash. I need that Mash before I get back to season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tyler, who do you have for your first pick?
So this one is a voice actress named Charmeleon, and she's been in like pretty much everything I've really loved. I'm just going to read off. She was Mai Taiyama and Ghost Hunt Mika in Psycho Pass. Amazing series if you haven't seen Psycho Pass. Gage in Borderlands, I know it's an anime, but she was also Alicia Hughes in Fullmetal Alchemist.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy to think about that. She was in D. Gray Man. She was like Lucy Hartpelli in Fairy Tale, and she's just been everything. BNA, Cyberpunk. She was V in Cyberpunk. She was the female V in Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Woo! She was even in Ghost in the Shell, which is a huge honor in my eyes. Like, but like I just really loved every time I had her like voice coming through my speakers. Like, she does a really good job with everything she does. And in one of my favorite series, I know a lot of people probably haven't heard of it, Ghost Hunt. It is like my series I go to and I watch just when I'm feeling down or something. It's not particularly amazing series or anything like that, but it's got like Todd Haberkorn in it, and Colin Clickenbeard and Travis Willingham in that one as well. So like it's like big names, medium to 2000, 2004, 2005, around that area. But she's just been in pretty much everything I've ever liked. And, I'm just sitting here and I hear it and I'm like, oh, there she is. I hear her. All right, and I'll go to IMDb and I'm like, all right, yeah, I was right. She was there. She's been in like all these different shows I really liked. X-Holic, she was Himawari. X-Holic is a really great anime if you haven't seen it. It follows a boy that, I think Todd Haberkorn plays the main character in that one, but she plays like the love interest or like the person he likes, and he's always fawning after her. She's like the Sakura of the series, if that makes sense, but she's actually useful.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, you lost me and then you got me back.
She's just a powerhouse, and I think my favorite performance really has to be V in Cyberpunk. I've spent hundreds of hours in that game, and she doesn't sound like, every time she does a different role, it feels like she sounds a little bit different, and I have to respect that. And just a multitude of different levels here. She can do like that cutesy voice to like that hardened street rat that she plays in Cyberpunk, depending on how you play the game. She's just been in everything, and especially her being a main character, like one of the 2 main characters in Fairy Tale. And I don't really like Fairy Tale that much, but you gotta recognize like how big this series kind of goes on, and like it's just kind of a decent series, but it's not my favorite, obviously. But her playing Mika, I don't know how do you want to say it, in Psycho Pass, the main character. She does an amazing job, and I have nothing but the greatest respect for that. Even on my wedding day, I remember watching BNA, Brand New Animal, in the morning, and she plays the main character in that one as well. And I just, throughout my life, I didn't realize until later that she'd been in so much, and it made such an impact on me. that's mine for this go around here for sure. Have y'all heard any I've heard before? Or
I've seen Psychopaths, but of the little bit of Cyberpunk I was able to play, I enjoyed her. You know?
Yeah.
It wouldn't run on my computer. I'm so upset.
I'm in the spot where I'm like scrolling through the behind the voice actors. I'm like, okay, I only played a little bit of Cyberpunk here, but I'm seeing Sora from Digimon. I'm seeing Biyomon from Digimon. Makoto from Persona 5. I'm like, okay, there's a win.
Makoto, yes.
Yeah, you had me at Digimon.
Yeah, listen, dude.
She's been in everything.
Kotaro Lives Alone. I'm like, I haven't watched the Asuna.
Yeah, I think she plays Kotaro.
Yeah. And I'm like, look at all these. I'm like, and
oh
there's
yeah,
like just a list I haven't
on
seen.
Sword Art Online. I forgot about that completely.
There's so many. I'm like, cool. Okay, cool. Like a name that I'll have to now remember. Oh my gosh, he's in Cookie Run Kingdom as the cotton cookie.
Stop! Hold the phone. Hold the presses.
Hold the phone.
That's cool. That's definitely a great first pick, dude. That's definitely great.
Thanks.
What about you, Danny? For your second pick?
My second pick. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I almost want to save this one for last. So I'll go to what I had third because I like the other one last. I was back and forth like let's pick three. And I'm like, oh god, who do I pick? So I put Clifford Chapin and Justin Briner both on there. Who are Clifford is Bakugo from My Hero Academia and Justin is Deku. And I love both of them. And
Iconic.
Listen, I've said it before. I love My Hero. I think it's too much hate because people just listen. The fan base, some of them suck. They do. Some of us just like to watch cool superheroes fight. It's fun. It's great. But yeah, just either one you go with. Like if even I focus on Justin Briner, where like he is Midoriya, but he's also Luck from Black Clover, and like such different energies. But I'm like, I hear the voice from both of them, and then I go to like Clifford, who has Bakugo, and then he's got Ryusui and Dr. Stone, and like they're so similar,
Yes.
but one is way more aggressive and anger. One's just like, I'm greedy, ha ha. Like anytime I hear that, ha ha, from Ryusui,
That little snappy note.
Yep. And I'm just like, Bakugo, relax. And it's so like, I guess if I focus on Clifford probably, because I think he probably brings me like more excitement just seeing the two different characters. Even as I scroll through his behind the voice actor, and I'm like, I don't know many of the other shows. I haven't watched a lot of them yet. I don't know like these roles, but like, yeah, Bakugo and Ryusui. I'm like, these are cool. I like this.
King Explosion Murder.
King Explosion Murder.
I think he was in Tokyo Ghoul. I think he was the main character's best friend. I could be wrong.
That one, yeah.
He had a very much more downplayed role. It wasn't like screaming like loser, like that kind of like explosive attitude.
Oh, I see he played Himmel in Freyrin. I never remember how to say his name.
Yeah.
But like, okay.
Yep. Himmel is he's great. Freyrin also, if you guys haven't watched it, please watch it. It's amazing. I know it seems like a little bit of a filler like series, but it just means a lot when you get down to the nitty gritty of the series. Yeah, it's a really good guy for voice acting.
Ryusui is so much fun.
Dude.
I love like he's greedy, but like he's greedy like to the point where he wants his friends to experience everything.
Yeah,
which is awesome. Like it's like the opposite of greed in a way.
What's that, Stone World? You don't understand. Communism, consumerism, totally different thing. Consumerism, not communism.
Oh man,
for the Soviet Union.
Consumerism, different word. They should change one of those words.
Yeah, they're actually on the opposite realms, like communism against consumer.
That was a quick 180.
So that's the problem when I try to use big words. I'm like, this is going to be really funny when it hits. And then you just totally butcher it. And I'm like, nah, Ryusui's all about communism now. Dang, that's crazy.
Dang.
Both will cost you an arm and a leg. I'm still doing this bit, you know?
I won't come back for episode 3.
I have to keep like tying it back into the bit. The bit was great.
You better have a Yu-Gi-Oh voice actor on here, or else your bit's terrible.
You know, I probably should have done that. I'll do an honorable mention. How about that?
Quick, who plays Kaiba and Brock? Put him on there.
For real, like no kidding. The fact that he's Brock too throws me off.
Yeah, it's so funny here, and at the same time, like these are different dudes. These are different energies.
We'll move on to my next character, voice actor. While we're waiting, I want to throw some love to Christopher Sabat. Iconic. Okay, dude's been Vegeta. You know, dude's been so many different All Might. You know.
I am here.
I am here. Armstrong. And
Armstrong.
dude, so the reason I love him so much because when I can hear his voice, it gives me so much joy because he's in like all of my a lot of my favorites. And I'm a huge Steins Gate stan. I absolutely love, and he's Mr. Braun in Steins Gate. It's God, I love Steins Gate. And when I heard his voice, I was like, this gives me so much joy, you know. What a legend. Like just so many good. Like, what are some other characters he's done? I mean, there's got to be like a list I can like.
Did you say Zoro already?
Zoro too. Oh my god.
Zoro,
dude.
Yeah.
It's so funny because he'll either play like an astronomically important character, or he'll just be somebody super small in another one. I'm thinking reincarnated as a slime.
Have a mustache.
Yeah,
most of the time. But like in I'm sure no one's seen it, but Reborn as a Vending Machine is another like really weird modern one. But he plays like the mayor. It's like a bear mayor, and he plays that character. I'm like, okay, bet.
Is that a real name? Reborn as a Vending Machine.
Oh yeah.
Reborn as a Vending Machine. I now wandered the dungeon. Yes, it's about some dude who like gets in a bike accident, falls off a cliff, and is just isekai as a vending machine, and all these people are like, what's this weird box? And he can only speak in like phrases. He's like, hello there, that's some warm soup, and like has like random things like that, and they have to be like, okay, so that means yes, that means no, sorry, not enough money.
Can I just like take a moment to say that I love anime?
It's great.
I love Japanese culture. This is insane. A vending machine. Like I'm lost. Anyway, Chris Sabat, if you're watching the podcast, I would love to talk to you. Be on the podcast. Take my money.
Oh, so Yami Black Clover, another great.
Oh yes, yeah, of course. Oh my gosh,
Captain Yami.
Yeah, I love Black Clover too. So that's
so good.
He's literally been iconic roles in like so many. But like, man, when I heard his voice with Mr. Braun from Steins Gate, I was so pleased. I was like, this is so great because I don't know. His interactions with Okabe are fun. So, I don't know. That's all I got to say.
I guess that goes up to me next. I'm going to do Eric Vale. Obviously, he's been a Sanji the great Sanji in good old One Piece. And he's been Shigaraki in My Hero Academia, Yuki Soma in Fruits Basket. I really like rom-coms, so, sue me. I don't care.
I love
that anime. Sunraku recently.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you didn't say it, I was in.
Frontier is so
I gotta catch
good.
up. I'm behind. I'm on like halfway through. I gotta get back to it.
It's so good. Nishiki and Tokyo Ghoul. You got he's licked in Plunderer. Plunderer is kind of a strange series if you haven't watched it. Also, Zolf J. Kimbley in Full Metal Alchemist.
Really? Okay.
I just came across that recently, and I was like, I was rewatching it. I probably watch it once a month or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot of time with photography and stuff. I'll just play anime on my phone or something, and I'll just go about my business. But man, he's been so much. Arthur Boyle and Fire Force. I don't know if you've seen Fire Force. It's a really good series.
It's on the list.
Fire Force, bro. I love Fire Force.
Yes. Yeah, I love his voice. It's just kind of pleasing to hear, but Sanji again, big role, big role, especially nowadays with everything going on with One Piece. It's kind of taken off hugely.
Kinda.
Have y'all? Yeah, man. I can't even. It's just he's great. He's one of my favorites for sure. If y'all have any other ones y'all can think of that he's been in, I know it's kind of a random name since we're all doing this stuff, but man, he doesn't miss. He just doesn't miss in anything.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss. In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
Yeah. No, you hit the roles I was thinking when you said Eric Vale. I was just like, so obviously Sanji, but yeah, I thought Senraku. And because like that was like the first one again. I started watching the dub. I'm like, Sanji, that you?
Yeah,
Sanji?
Yeah, my boy. But it's just like he hasn't had too many. It feels like really main character type roles like that. Besides Plunderer, and well, I guess he could be Yuki Soma. And Fruits Basket is one of the main characters.
Yeah.
But just a fantastic voice actor.
You know, speaking of Sanji's voice actor, he definitely did better than the 4Kids one. Hey, you know, I'm Sanji. What are you talking about? Yeah. Man, 4Kids was something else, man.
Swan, what's going on?
I'll tell you right now, 4Kids, the only thing they did right were intros. You know, like their intros went hard. Okay.
Yeah, yo.
Or don't give it up, Luffy.
Dreaming.
or the Yu-Gi-Oh one, dude.
Here's how the story goes. We find out by the legend, the grand line. There's no doubt. You're crazy. No. You're wild.
No. Listen to me. Wait a sec.
In the grand line.
Yeah.
To sail for One Piece.
His name was always like a samurai in the LA.
I thought Big Minaga's intro for that series was good.
No, that's a banger too.
That's also a name we are not going to mention again, though, because he's done some stuff. But still, it's still cool to hear all these different types of intros like that. And I guess they worked, though. They really did work for 4Kids on that part. Yeah. But 4Kids dub is something to be.
That'll be a Patreon. We can make it a Patreon stretch goal. Watch all the 4Kids ever released if we get a certain. It's got to start a Patreon, number 1. Got to hit a stretch goal.
Right after Skypea, baby.
That's right. Oh, my God. That's a lot. That's a lot to watch. Oh, no. Oh, me.
Just stick with the Funimation one. That's better.
Yeah, right. But anyway, let's move on to Danny. What's your third choice?
Speaking of Funimation and One Piece dub, as
Rip Funimation.
There's backstory to this one, right? I wasn't an anime guy in college. My friend's like, we got to get you to watch one of the big three. He different meaning then, just but he meant longest ones: Naruto, One Piece, or Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, not for me. Big glowing guy screaming. Didn't quite get it. Might give it a shot.
Yeah.
Naruto, maybe. We'll find out. I'm like, One Piece, let's see if that's the one. So they put on Strong World. And there's this walking, talking skeleton that's super funny, and he's just like, man, may I take a look at your panties? I'm like, wait, you can't ask someone that. Exactly, you can't do that. That's inappropriate. You can't ask somebody that. But then, like, the moment where, like, a bunch of bugs are eating everyone alive, and they totally ignore the skeleton. He's like, why didn't they eat me? He's like, because you're all bone, no skin. He freaks out and kills every one of them, and I'm like, this is the reason I'm about to watch One Piece. This is the man hanging from my microphone, and that is Ian Sinclair. I absolutely adore this man. I see him on TikTok. I see him obviously in One Piece. He plays Magna in Black Clover, but
yeah, he does.
After Brook, of course. My other favorite role that he is he plays the narrator in Kaguya-sama Love is War. And this man doesn't miss a comedic beat in his life. Nah. He does like either a super serious, like, these two kids will love each other, but they won't admit it to one another. Or like there's an episode where it goes like entirely super rom-com anime, and he does this kawaii, like, oh my goodness, these two are going to love each other, but they're all Ian Sinclair, and it's so amazing. And I'm like, I want to meet this man and be like, how's it feel to know that you play both Brook and the narrator, and I love you for both of them for different reasons. Ian Sinclair is phenomenal. I love him. I want another show where he's just like the main character. I don't know if there's any out there that exists now that I have to go watch. What is it?
Love Tyrant. I think he's in Love
that one. Tyrant.
Definitely a good choice. I love Brook so much.
He's so great, dude. I love him. He's my boy. I love him.
I cannot wait until Brook and Laboon reunite.
I'm gonna cry.
If Oda doesn't give us that moment, I'm gonna riot. I don't even care about what the One Piece says at this point. Who cares?
I want Laboon.
I want Laboon. Come back.
Nah, man. Like when I found out about this character, I'm like, he's the one I'm gonna watch One Piece for. No spoilers on what he does, what his backstory is. I'm just like, when does he show up? And at the time, he was the newest Straw Hat.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. But like, One Piece is such a trip. I know I have so many people who are just like, 1,000 episodes, can't do it. I'm like, you can do it, and you won't regret it. It's so good.
It's worth it.
So like this, exactly. And when we finally get to Brook, I'm like, I made to the point I wanted, but now I can't stop. Now I just need more Brook.
If you really think about it too, those people that are kind of, on the fence about One Piece, there's only 10 minutes of content per episode, really. I mean, we can skip past the intro and then the recap. That's another 7 minutes, and then this other part.
Somebody actually made a fan edit of One Piece called One Pace. It actually like cuts all of that superfluous stuff out and it makes it way more manageable because like there was a side by side with One Pace like in Wano. Remember the sumo wrestling part? It uses like 30 seconds of the same panel over and over again.
It's
like,
a lot.
And I'm like, good lord, this could have been like 5 seconds and then move on.
Yeah.
You know?
I did not try One Pace. I had to download it, and I was like, I'm not putting that on. It's like licking the sidewalk, you know. I'm not doing that.
I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm like caught up. If for any reason, I don't necessarily think I'm gonna rewatch One Piece anytime soon, especially with it not being over. But like maybe at some point I'm like, I gotta just show them something special. I got to show it to the kids, and I'm like, maybe we'll try One Piece. But I also feel like there's an adventure of just doing the regular show, skipping filler and just watching the whole thing, but to each their own. But
yeah, I agree. I think it's like a rite of passage, and for something as iconic as One Piece, it deserves the time spent. You know, it's been it wouldn't have been around as long as it was if it wasn't good. Like, you know, even with the pacing issue. So anyway, I'll get into my third. Speaking of One Piece, I'm going to go into the world of Japanese voice acting for a little bit and throw some love to the voice of Luffy herself, Mayumi Tanaka. I believe I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Please don't butcher me if I'm not. She is phenomenal. Luffy is such a fun voice, and I absolutely love the character that he is able to... Like, so the joy in the voice for Gear 5 is just absolutely astounding in my mind. You know, it's
Moke.
She was having fun with that. There's no way to deny that. Like, it's so good. Her voice is just iconic, and you know, when you have something as long running as One Piece, and the fact that the voice is been so consistent for that long. You can tell the character has evolved and grown, but also you still get that this has been 1,000 episodes, but this is still Luffy. You know what I mean? And I really like that. Like it's somebody who if you've been like me watching the sub for all the way through, I started with it, and you know it's been a multiple year thing. I started watching, I think, my senior year in high school, and you know, I remember it like I haven't let up since. Like it's been like kind of like what you know, what Tyler was talking about with having the first person you mentioned. What was her name again?
Charmeleon.
Yeah, about how you watched her literally like on your wedding day. You watched an episode. Yeah. I watch One Piece like constantly, and I find myself going back to like good moments, and we all hate on the pacing and stuff like that, but man, it's such an integral part. I can't words today, and we're on a podcast, so we're about words.
I get it, man. Communism,
yeah,
you know?
Communism, yeah. No, it's just it's such an integral part of One Piece. Is a reason that anime is no longer that thing you'll be bullied in school for liking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's normal to like anime. You're expected to like anime. If anything, you're weird if you don't like anime nowadays, right?
Weirdos.
Right? And I just want to throw out an honorable mention to, we mentioned Eric Stewart, the voice of Brock and Saito Kaiba. I absolutely love Yu-Gi-Oh! And I find it hilarious. I just want to throw an honorable mention out to Eric Stewart, so... Yeah,
I had real quick pulled up Luffy's voice actors behind the voice actor.
Yeah,
and it's like it's all separated. Like there's the game and there's Film Red and this that, but then there's just coronavirus, and I'm like, what is this? But I guess there's some Japanese COVID-19 ad where Luffy's like, hey, get your injection, please. And like I don't know what it is.
Oh my!
Yeah, it just says coronavirus COVID-19 2020 commercial. I'm like, okay, and then it's just Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll take
it. Will the
it.
vaccine give me rubber powers?
Please, I'll go to Japan to get the vaccine.
Right?
Gumu gumu no, baby.
Kovu no.
Kovu no.
So I'm going to go through with my third one here, right? So I saved this one for last. Ooh, man, I almost get teared up when I think about how much stuff he's been in. Anyone that has watched anime growing up has heard his voice. I guarantee it. Anyone heard of Toonami? Anyone here heard of Toonami?
No.
What's that?
Well, let me tell you, boys and girls, gather around to Uncle Tyler's little story time here. So back in 2000s, I think a little bit at the end of the 90s as well, we had something called Toonami. And it was kind of a play on the words of tsunami. It was the wave of anime coming to America. And he played the good old Tom. He played Tom, the main guy, the guy that would be like, "What's up, kiddos? Come in. Toonami's coming up next. We got some good stuff coming up tonight." You know, like Naruto, One Piece, all this other stuff. He plays Zeb in Rebels. I have not watched the series. I will. But he also plays Spike Spiegel in the glorious Cowboy Bebop. That just insane anime. I love that anime so much. Also, another one, Mugen in Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo is fantastic if you haven't seen it. As well as, Orochimaru. I'm just dropping the name out there in Naruto. As well as Zabuza. Wowie. Just kind of coming out here right out the gate, like insane credentials here.
Yeah.
He also played freaking Wolverine in X-Men. I know it's not an anime, but we gotta talk about it. It's just a voice of a generation. He was in freaking Ghost in the Shell. He was Laughing Man in Ghost in the Shell, which was one of my favorite villains in the series. It's kind of a villain or a hero, whichever you kind of decide on which side of the show you're on. He was good old Roger Smith in Big O. Big O was one of my favorite in the 90s. It's kind of noir, kind of detective kind of series. This guy's going through the city, and he has this giant robot that he can use. Really cool, explaining it horribly. As well as Amon and Legend of Korra. I know it's not anime.
Oh my! Hey, come on, man!
So
Avatar.
good.
I count Avatar in anime.
I do too.
Hate me if you want, people. I don't care. You're wrong.
We stand by it.
I own up to that. It's in the style. It doesn't have to necessarily be just like if I make a bowl of ramen here, it's still a bowl of ramen, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that that's the dish because it's not in Japan.
Exactly.
That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. The dumbest argument.
But that's American ramen. It's not the same. It's not an American cartoon.
It's funny though. Ramen is also Chinese.
That too.
But that's not anime. That's I got nothing. I don't know what the argument is there.
Liron in Gurren Lagann as well.
I love Gurren Lagann. I love it.
Another great series.
Yes.
And I have to talk about Call of Duty. He was Tank Dempsey in Call of Duty. Anybody that's played Call of Duty Zombies, he played Tank Dempsey. Our favorite crass American that is just full of everything. Real chutzpah for killing zombies.
The fact that he's done that much is crazy,
Right? It's insane. And like, I follow him on my Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And man, he doesn't miss. Again, he just don't miss. And it's always great to hear his voice. He plays all these different side characters too. And it's almost like a little sprinkle of happiness. And when you hear him in the background, it's like, oh, hey.
Steve Bloom is kind of like on the same radar for me as Clancy Brown. Like they're both iconic voices.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
heard that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Iconic voices. The fact that Clancy Brown plays Mr. Krabs is hilarious to me.
Yes.
Like that's the most hilarious thing in the world. The fact that he can be that and other things.
Yeah, for sure.
With Steve Blum, he's one that like I always remember as like my Vmon Digivolutions. He's Flamedramon, Ragermon, Magnamon, and I was like, that's the boy. But also for the indie part of me, he played Neon White in like the Neon White from 2022, 23. 22, I think, whichever year. So like super anime style, like parkour platformer, and he plays the main character. Kind of cringy, the writing's whatever, but he nails it in the role. Just the writing's pretty bad, but the gameplay's fun. But like I'll be like, that's him.
Yeah, I think overall these were awesome choices, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Also, one more honorable mention. I got to throw this out there since I'm standing on the train that Avatar is anime. Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah.
The first time you hear Ozai's voice, ridiculous. Okay, I just want to throw that out there. Mark Hamill, also please be on the podcast. Mark Hamill, take my money. Take my money.
He is always going to beat the Joker to me.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. Period for me. Like
he channeled a little bit of Joker when he's like, they didn't deserve to live in the world. Then my world. Prepare to join them. Prepare to die. Right? You know?
Yeah.
What a fun conversation we had, guys. I mean, like,
yeah,
this was fun. Like, we're just showing some love to people who have quite literally made a culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really big impacts.
Arguably a third impact. Haha, Evangelion.
Love it.
I'm making too many references today.
Oh, no. Evangelion. I'll take an Evangelion reference any day of the week, baby.
Yeah, quick, pull up Exodia again. It'll be funny. Do it again. Evangelion, get it?
Hey, I'll obliterate you.
Not a threat or a promise, big man.
Oh, no. What a fun conversation, guys. And
sure.
as we wrap up today, I just wanted to say thanks again, Danny, for the camaraderie and joining us, especially after a busy schedule coming back from PAX and everything, and starting up your new podcast, which is a perfect idea to segue to. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Thank you so much again for having me. This is always fun. Yes, we recently started our own podcast, indie gaming podcast called Playlog. You can find it over on YouTube. That's probably the better version. You get the gameplay clip. It's there too. But we're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, CastBox, a bunch of the other ones. I just put them in the Spotify and it puts it where they go. So if you find me somewhere, enjoy. But yeah, we're having a blast doing it. We're doing episode 4 this week. Just talking indie games, reviews, upcoming events, so on and so forth, indie news, and we have a blast doing it with my buddy Topher. So come check me out on YouTube and everywhere else.
Definitely do that, guys. They're very, very cool to hear all the knowledge and everything about indie games, which deserve as much love because I have been absolutely obsessed with Moonlighter. So
honestly, some would say more love. AAA's kind of suck.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired
especially
of
their prices.
Exactly.
Spending $70 in a game that, like, you know, they just didn't put love into, and then I pick up like an indie game and it's like, wow, what? Like I don't hate myself. Like, that's crazy. We
need to get you back in on another podcast episode, Danny, but we're talking about just hating on like the gold and ultimate editions for AAA games. You know what I mean? Just $130 for a game is stupid.
That's my nightly ritual. I got to do that before I go to bed. I haven't even looked at the Outlaws one yet. I've just seen people complain about it. I have no idea what's going on with the Outlaws one, but I'm like, okay, people don't like this.
$130, dude?
Yeah, it's stupid. Hey, part 3 confirmed, guys. That was fun. Anyway, guys, definitely check him out on TikTok as well. That is CGDannyB, so definitely go and show him some love. He deserves it. He deserves it. Tyler, would you like to plug your Twitch?
Yeah, I'm Tylerthegrey 927 on Twitch, and if you want to check out my Instagram, it's not as much gaming stuff, but it's ta.barn. You want to check me out on YouTube, you know, it's just Tylerthegrey or Zodiac 927 if you just want to type in that to the bar. I haven't really been doing a lot lately. I've been a little bit busy with work, but always love streaming with Fus and having some fun.
And as always, guys, you can find me at thefusrodab on Twitter, TikTok, and of course Instagram, and Fusrodab on YouTube. That is FUSRODAB. This has been Sunyshore Station. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Sunyshore Station.